that these days the church has lost that value when it comes to telling. A few weeks back, when a particular use whatever whisper you want to whisper to me, but come back to what the church is supposed, like a place where politicians come and just to suit. And then we see that these days we have this beginning to change their topics, and not. This is why Bishop Kuka of the Sokoto, and I know that he's also attracted a lot.
So was a coming together of that were held around the celebration. It's still we have a clergyman who is at the helms of affairs, moving. I don't know which one we are headed, but politics and the church. How much? Because I mean, he Hassan Kuka's.
Matthew Kuka.
Yeah, we must say 70 looks good. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually work, and not wobbly. Is where he said that set limits to what human in. He is known for speaking. We wish him more. We pray that we have also
Matthew Hassan Kukas, and in recent months we heard they had come out to cause some cars hitting on gates and a ban on Nigerians. The commissioner for Minister of come out to explain from one phase to the other. Initially still difficult for people who are 30 and below, is represented by some people who are leaders, and then for other Nigerians who like to go on ground, that we had some Nigerians, I think. So these are really serious issues, and like sounds in the ears, and discuss the fate of Nigerians in the UAE and want to do businesses, but now
the situation that for Nigeria misrepresents they did. They said some call just about 2 days ago, and they were detained in the Dubai International Airport. Yeah, what exactly happened? And then we'll come.
United Nations, if I take it, I think to go outside.
To many of us.
United Arab Emirates that this held hostage in the airport, and we can let's look at some tweets, because of course it sparked a lot of over NIDCOM, which is Abike Dabire, out to clarify some issues and say that the vice presidential candidate of the list, no explanation of why they are being held. I live in Nigeria. I don't know who he's throwing that also a problem.
That's
and this one, UAE have been doing it to for interview. We agree has emanated some of the Nigerians. I don't think that is absolutely. Ahmad Dubai, of course, this is the person that valid visas are being held in due. Please help. There's more Emirates.
And you can imagine how
difficult then some Nigerian cultists who the NIDCOM boss was trying to think about your behavior abroad before you call
this kind. They don't think of the consequence.
Why do you even go to another country and start perpetrate uncivility
from neighboring countries and all of those abroad and do businesses? Why on those things? If we also as a people, someone can look in your face and tell you do not have the ways we are acting, the ways we are behaving. Some people are behaving outside.
Now we share with some of those countries when there has that interdependence diplomacy.
Yeah.
Of the stock market, forex market, the .com era to the oil boom from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
I am Mary Joseph. We begin in the northeast region of the country. And development master plan, about 31 of 3 expansion joints on Lagos State, Oroshola Oluyede, said the country. In another development, the smuggling. at an interview smuggling via land borders, but was struck with charges for passports. Currency where Poland's government had negotiated the reparations. Nazi German occupation. Yeah, on transfer deadline day. Have details of these stories and more in our new.
Come on, man.
Market, Forex market, come era to the oil boom, 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
On this end, and of course thank you so much to your YouTube channel, and like, of course we need you to be part and parcel, or definitely read them out on air.
Talked about the Lagos Okada ban, you know, the Lagos House Act, and but then we now,
You know, date for ban, but it's even about the federal government in northern Nigeria, because of what Lagos State has taken it more. We have not really seen some serious about it, and they're just going added like 4 more local government areas and Agboyi K2 in Coastal government area too. So it's more like we'll not have bikers or Okada riders anymore.
Band, it's going to progress. By December, it's going to be the places that do not have good roads, or be after this ban is effected. Today's ends that verdict has been a serious problem moving around.
Yeah, it's going to definitely
ban on motorcycles.
Not even because everybody seems to want to have a car, afford it,
yes,
and then
just
still
can't
have
go around.
to use the public transportation fare. And we know how it happens here in Nigeria. That's a legit, area of bring like regulations, in terms of transportation fares for those people, and from riding Okada or the motorbike. But I think that before this total ban, which some kind of but again, I think beyond that, I'm sure that the body language of the government, they should begin to look at waiting for governments to, in a day and in a month.
I mean, when you make money, your money is being that they're going to be making off some money from the
motorcycles. Do not drive, but they're not
because entering a gradual process. So we can't find where to dump all 20,000 trade. At the end of the day, we are going to have more.
Who wants to use such bikes? We flout the orders.
You know that all that heap of motorbikes, and you know that this
50,000
before.
Wow. Yeah.
But it goes for as hurtful it is for some of these people that just
the biking. When we try to like put advantages of having, so why should we in Lagos State interest of Lagosians at this point? We would definitely survive.
The way to criminal activity that made the round imprisonment. So it's going to be from the presidency. They're going to be independent National Electoral Commission for campaigns. Created by the Act, and they've girls, and for the campaign, wondering, okay, which way are we going? Because it's so candidates go to come out to say that in this centers as in a really funny way.
Tickets, so it is not totally contesting for go and seek the blessing of their pastor. Let there be no forms of campaign. People go into, or politicians go into church and say, definitely come and say, this our yes. Let's try to restrict it now. Okay, go to your different states. Reason for saying doesn't spark any form of religious
should also not be used democratic ethos, that's political campaigns, tribal or sectional feelings.
When they brought out Jonathan added exactly what you want to do of some of those politicians when they step into that position. Until today, instead of the naira that we find ourselves today, and I carry this naira and out of ticket time things that can play. Try that in a positive light. Let me not even
for offices come to, deliver, because never will go for campaign, they'll say, oh, we'll give you roads. They will say yes. If you think that they promised you, then let us look for a way to have, and even come into signing dotted lines if we did across all communities.
I think I want to just take to serve the people of a particular state or particular. You find out a particular administration comes, and then so let's begin to have a Nigeria where, of course, everybody is part and parcel. And I think even when we take back to 2015, in terms of development and all the things,
democracy that we are running, people have rights for the people. Of course, we need really spirited and has the mind for the people to deliver the nation that we hope we will be bringing you the next set of.
2020, of course, the whole, I have coupled take minds back to some particular region happening in Akwa Ibom state in terms of vaccines. In this, it is pretty low. Take the and vaccinations as well. Professor Augustine Umor, guest, we're standing by.
There's zero in the state. As a state vaccinated, now strategy of COVID-19, who has put in every were discovered how government needed way with scratch in a record time. And what we
That's the COVID-19 in Akwa
Ibom State Primary.
And sunny this morning.
Okay, so let's begin in see how what herd immunity is.
All right then. So I'm gonna. You remember going to or any of those contagious? Okay, no, you were looking a bit confused. So, especially and made sure that people spread that thing from an infectious disease through vaccinations or with the risk towards herd immunity.
Infection below the radar when it comes.
It's possible. It's just a matter of themselves of the vaccinations that are them is in place from the state as basic as possible. And the more Honorable Commissioner of Health we had the isolation CDC to take lead back. It was also to play. Are you fully emails of this vaccine? And we're here to a political campaign to the previous frontline work. Well, I lost doctor colleagues, technicians. We lost some of them too. So the point actions, and then we did that. We extended to 18 and above. There might be special considerations for children. I've also started looking at the frontline worker, whether you are behind the scenes worker.
There are a lot of people that have also complained for them. So what would you say to such people?
Third iteration of the campaign, as they say, and get the vaccinations. Now those are only available, moving them out. Once we move them out from the old.
Okay, so let the second dose next. I mean, these are quite
here. What we have,
what would
to get the vaccines been surrounded this but I said, you know what, maybe they come one day that they went. So he said, let's to take this and have the vaccines available, switch instead of focusing more.
Okay.
So if you take that time, like Ibom Plaza or long queues, of course that. And we're just saying that come out and take the vaccine.
Of life for the vaccine.
That is already within the state.
Coming into the state because in recent we're closing down because we are sending to some places.
Okay, take you on that journey. So before I'm already in Akwa Ibom, we have enough vaccines and not in the country.
Mata, who is the executive
get vaccinated, everybody.
We'll have next week people reader, and then will be people coming up for vaccinations to Akwa Ibom State and
cryptocurrencies, the mental news drives the market. Exclusive on Spectrum Television.
Akwa Ibom State, considering all concern, which is major state team, and then stage. Thank you so much for unity from Dr.
Of course, she's our boss. COVID-19 vaccination was same goal.
And
as an organization, Heart and Alliance, we come on board on our own with that. So outside the ones who are even on. So they take flag off on the executive side. Before then is that this resistance from why COVID-19 vaccination, a whole lot of issues that we walk through what we call, because we found out that to do ET centers, we got so all what we do vaccinate. So that's the way again from what they are business, but we now take it.
The COVID-19 vaccines. Say that your approach now has been.
Conceptions are still there. Then tomorrow you are seeing that same killing people, and that is helping to a lot of persons think that's the political leaders, the community, the political leader, or everybody sees that community for a long thing, a lot. However, I can say is over
reports ago it had like % reduction in the to readily come and get a big issue. Getting vaccinated versus
as an organization, even I can assure, we don't even dwell on paramount here is that so far as they keep saying today, and if we have people who we have info, and even though you see that in Nigeria and people keep arguing and people keep, sometimes we hear okay, the vaccine is and people are taking it and they are not dying.
I like the fact that God, if you look at the statistics,
still the same thing about also saying that we can't, and where the executives we is about we probably not in the next 1 or 2 months. I'll show you top 5 when it comes to the number of we're doing right now.
We have in Akwa Ibom State and the efficacy of this.
I think the one that is currently the Moderna,
so usually you're not
available,
and they will.
You are not supposed to meet me back for their second dose. The rest you may give to another is the Johnson, which is that's all.
Okay. So
any of the vaccines you
what want to use a word like because of the spike, they to get a booster vaccination a long time.
I'm going to ask, even as a family, to store them at what would I call it? The is put in place to monitor.
Maintaining they go with the range, the temperature range. What's it called? The temperature, the hour we call them. When you enter the facility, with that, when you look at is a required temperature, you can now be talking about within the range. Then for the monitor as if you give any medication, it is now online. Once they get to that is being reported to you.
In one breath.
So what he has health down to Alliance is doing. But just because they want to be sure, then give us thought where it is guaranteed, Mister. So that I can guarantee vaccine is sync this window of may need to travel that may now require to we've talked about first wave, second wave. So that please available. And most opportunity will be vaccinated today.
Anna this morning.
Thank you.
And of course
we'll just take mashed up fruits anyway. We should have a conversation. I think she did.
Stay away from some kinds of.
I do.
So this is where we get to draw the curtain. I'll see you again.
We'll see you tomorrow.